This haphazard policy and contradictions coming out of this White House are staggering. Everything they say feels like it was kind of made up on the spot and not coordinated in any way to justify whatever they did, not just yesterday, but maybe just a few hours ago. And perhaps the best example we have of that involves one of the most serious and tragic incidents in this war so far. As you probably know by now, in the early hours of this war, an Iranian girls' school was struck by a missile. Iranian officials estimate that around 175 people were killed, many of them children. And we've now had multiple reports claiming that the strike likely came from the United States, that our country likely killed those girls. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been asked about those reports multiple times, and each time he has responded with some version of, we're investigating it. But Donald Trump has a bit of a different story.
Mr. President, did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 170?
No, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Okay, lots to unpack there, including Hegseth leering over Trump on Air Force One. That aside, Trump says Iran did it. Reports say that the U.S. did it. Trump's defense secretary won't go beyond we're investigating. But basically, just to kind of put a fine point on this, Trump is suggesting with no evidence that maybe it was actually Iran who bombed their own school with weapons Iran does not have, just to cut through it right there. I mean, yesterday, New York Times correspondent Sean McGreish offered the world a lesson in how to hold an erratic president accountable during a time of war. Here's what happened.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
Every moment of that interaction makes it clear that Trump's claim is not based on anything other than his desire to deflect blame. And today, the White House basically admitted as much.
Why did President Trump say yesterday that Iran may have Tomahawk missiles when there are only 3 other U.S. allies plus the U.S. that have those missiles?
The president has a right to share his opinions with the American public.
His opinion? Is Trump's opinion that Iran has Tomahawk missiles that they used against their own school? That's quite an opinion. Trump's claim that Iran is responsible is nothing more than an opinion. No one else in his administration is willing to stand behind it, which tells you a lot. They have a lot to answer for right now. And today we got reports that initial estimates showed Trump's war cost American taxpayers $5.6 billion in just the first 2 days. At the same time, a new report from an external government watchdog finds that Pete Hegseth's Pentagon was already on a massive spending spree before the war began, dropping $15 million on, wait for it, if you haven't seen this story, look it up, steak, and another $6.9 million on lobster tail in just the month of September. Wired magazine reports that in the middle of a war, the Pentagon is reportedly pushing civilian employees to go volunteer to help with Trump's immigration crackdown. And every day they are showing us that they have no plan, no strategy, and no unified message for the American people and for the world. Someone should answer for all of this. And today, a group of Senate Democrats threatened to effectively hold up every single vote on the Senate floor until Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio come before the Senate and testify under oath about this war. Is that where accountability starts? Maybe it is.
Welcome back. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Just click the subscribe button right there to stay informed.